Recording in progress.
Yes, thank you. As per the mission of Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. There are some ground rules we request all the audience to follow to keep the meeting productive. Keep your mic on mute unless you are delivering a session or ask a question. Keep your phone in silent mode during the meeting when you speak so that it does not create any disturbance. Please prefix your name with the TM underscore if you are a Toastmaster and as a guest underscore if you are a guest. As much as possible, keep your video on so that the speaker gets a near live experience and gets motivated by your responses. Please stay in professional posture when you are on video. Kindly stay throughout the meeting and enjoy the Toastmaster experience. Do not exit abruptly from the meeting. Team has taken pains over the past week to conduct this meeting. It will be an insult to exit the meeting abruptly and is not a dignified manners. In case of urgent need, mentioned about exit politely and do so. Please keep the chat window always open in a corner and use it for any quick communication when the meeting is in progress. Use it for communication too. With this, I would like to introduce presiding officer for today's meeting. He is a Toastmasters in 2009 and looking every opportunity to refine the leadership and communication skills. He is Toastmaster Saravanan. Let us put hand together to welcome presiding officer Toastmaster Saravanan. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatpally. Please give a big round of applause for Toastmaster Venkatpally for energizingly starting this meeting. Well, how are you all doing today? Nice. With this happy note, I declare the meeting number 693 open. I welcome the dignitaries who have joined today's meeting. DTM Thomas Abraham, thank you for joining. And I can see few guests who have joined the meeting as well. Can you please come over here and introduce yourselves and let us know what your expectations for today's meeting is all about? Yeah, Ramya.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Ramya. I'm a yoga teacher and also a yoga counselor. And I'm here to learn a lot. And I guess there is a surprise today from all of you. So I'm so excited to know what the surprise is. And also, I did not understand what was the theme of the day today. And Jagan explained me what was the theme. And I'm so excited to know the theme of the day. And even I voted for that. So I'm happy to be here and I'm excited to be a part of this meeting. Thank you.
Please keep coming. Okay. So our second guest, yeah, Mr. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So every time you can come and introduce yourself because there are new members who have joined as well. So they will come to know about you. Please.
This is my third meeting in this group. Very good afternoon. One thing which excited me to come over for this meeting is Mr. Thomas. I saw he's the key speaker and things like that. Of course, others also speak. Enjoy it. I enjoyed. My name is Narendra Keshav. I've been wearing quite a few hats. That one finally, which is resting now here is I'm a consultant for Rio AI International. It's an American company. It has got its operations in Chennai. I'm its consultant. All these things are only name droppings. Personally, I'm a jolly good, simple fellow who enjoys his drink every night. Thank you. Thank you for tolerating me.
Thank you, Mr. Narendra. Next guest.
Good afternoon. Myself, Wilson. I work for a bank in Chennai. So yesterday only, actually, I was speaking to Sheshan sir about and coming and joining here as a part of this, great organization. Okay. So I'm actually waiting to know what exactly is going to be in the first experience, and be a part of it going forward. Thank you for the invite, and I like to make this opportunity at the fullest. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and it is an excellent forum for you to come here, learn something, and as well as mentor and then be a mentee also. Okay. Now I have to online two guests. Okay, yeah, good. I can see two guests in online meeting. Guest Anburaj, can you please introduce yourself? You are on mute. It would be better
Oh,
we can
sorry.
also hear
Oh,
you.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm Anburaj. I stay near Kalakshetra. I work for HDFC Bank, taking care of information security. Toastmasters is new to me. I joined to improve my communication skills and get out of fear of public speaking. That's all.
Definitely, you have come to the right place.
Yeah.
Then any more guests? Yeah. Anjana?
Good day, all. I am Anjana. I'm from Adyar. I'm an undergraduate psychology student. So, this is actually my second meeting as guest in Toastmasters. Due to unavoidable circumstances on weekends, I was not able to attend the meetings regularly, but I always look forward to attend a meeting. And fortunately, I was able to attend today. So, I'm happy to be here. Good day, all.
Thank you. We have quite a few psychology students here, and it will be a welcome addition to it as well. Please keep coming and please keep joining as well. Thank you. Fine. Any more guests? I don't see any more guests. Yeah, good. Fine. So last week, I got a call from one of our members, and they told, okay, hey, Sarunan, I want to talk about you about something. Yeah. So we give snacks, right? Yeah, we give snacks at the end of the meeting. And that member asked, okay, why are we giving vada or bonda? Why don't we give some fruits like apple or oranges? I thought for a minute, but I was a bit reluctant for two reasons. One is Medley is famous for vada bonda. So that is one thing. Second thing is an apple a day keeps a doctor away. So we have 6 doctors and we don't want to keep any of the doctors away. But today all the doctors are away. I don't know whether we have served apple last week or not because I was not there. I'm not sure about that. But let us see. We will avoid apple so that the doctors will come and be here. Okay, I can see the doctor coming. Okay. No, actually I was talking about doctors. So you have come at the right time. And one more thing. So when I talk about doctors, do you know what is special about this month? This month is very special for doctors. Do you know? Okay, normally I ask like what is special today, but today I'm asking what is special this month. Okay, this August month is special for doctors because this is especially a month for National Immunization Awareness, Medi Alert Awareness, National Wellness, Spinal Muscular Atrophy, Eye Examination, Child's Eye Health and Safety Month. So August is very famous for doctors. That's why I want all the doctors to be here. Fine. Now we go on to the next one. So now I come to the special day today. Okay. What is special today? Thomas? Thomas is always special. What is it? Wow, very good. Nice, very nice. Good. Yeah, right. But today we have some special additions in our second family. That is why it is very, very special for us today. And I would like to welcome our VPM, Toastmaster Venkateshan, to do the induction for the new members.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters and guests here. We have 2 new members being inducted today. New members bring a lot of energy and enthusiasm in the club. I'm happy to announce we are inducting 2 members, as I said earlier. It's a pleasure to welcome and induct them. I invite them to come on camera. when I call out their names. Toastmaster Janita,
Yes,
she's
so
available on. Hi, how are you
hello.
doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Like I try to make it like no, but unfortunately I'm not able to do it this time. Like definitely I'll come next week for sure.
Sure. Toastmaster Prasanna, please come. You are not visible.
Thank you. It's glad to be part of Medley Toastmaster. I've been here quite some time, so looking forward to be a good communicator and leader. Thank you.
Okay, stay here. Membership in Medley Toastmasters Club and Toastmasters International is a privilege that carries with it many rewards. Yet it also places certain obligations upon things we could not accomplish alone. Our collective obligation is to grow and improve ourselves and to share our knowledge and experience with fellow members with the spirit of enjoyment. We ask you, new members, to dedicate yourselves to personal growth and to help this Toastmaster Club strong and dynamic going forward. New members, please listen carefully as I read out the Toastmaster member promise. In the presence of the members of Medley Toastmasters, I promise to attend meetings regularly and prepare fully for each assignment, to apply myself to the program outlined in the Toastmasters manuals, to participate actively in the club activities, to evaluate others in a positive and constructive manner, to build open, friendly relationships with fellow members of the club, and to bring other new members to the club so that they can also gain from the benefits of Toastmasters. Will you promise to stand by these obligations? Please say, yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I
Thank
do.
you. Thank you, Janita. I request all Medley Toastmasters to please raise your hands. As Medley Toastmasters, we pledge to support our new members in their quest for self-development, to provide them with positive, helpful evaluations, to maintain a friendly and supportive atmosphere, and to make their Toastmasters membership a rewarding and a fulfilling experience. Thank you, fellow members. New members, you would be presented with the welcome ribbons when we come to on-premise meetings. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Venkat.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, new members and the fellow Toastmasters here. Now I hand over the podium to presiding officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkateshan. What is Nidhini? Nidhini. Yendini. Yadini. Yeah, what is the meaning of that? This is me. Very good, very good. So you listen to that speech? Excellent speech. And thank you, Tim Thomas, for giving that evaluation. And that is wonderfully done. Thank you for that. So that is a clear indication of self-awareness and celebrating differences. So the Toastmaster who joined only 4 years back was able to bring that and how we can be self-aware about ourselves, discover about ourselves, and be the good person we are. At the same time, we can celebrate our differences as well. All these were clearly coming out in that speech. So I would urge you to go and listen to that speech if you have not done that already, because Toastmasters is all about that. Understanding what we are, discovering who we are, as well as celebrating the differences which we have so that we can bring a difference to the world and society where we live in. So with this, to take the meeting forward, we have a person called as TMOD, Toastmaster of the Day, and that person will add to the agenda, ensure that the meeting starts and ends on time. Today, we have an energetic as well as very passionate Toastmaster who is somebody who comes very early to the meetings and ensures that all the setups are completed and ensures that the audio as well as Zoom and video integration are completed successfully. For today, before introducing the person himself, I would like to know what the theme is. Okay, because the theme itself is a secret today. And I will be taking a second to open my lens one to see what the theme is because I don't know. Just a minute. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I think all of you have voted in that Google form. Anybody is yet to do it? People in the online, like, have you all voted for the theme?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we have voted.
So, Saran, finally, you had
Yes.
also.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just waiting with bated breath. Okay, I was.
So you can vote actually. Which one you want?
Okay. So you want to introduce?
No, that's fine.
Okay. Fine. So the theme for today is habits, one step at a time. How many of you correctly got that? That's a habit for you, right? I mean, to correctly get something. Okay, nice. Fine. So please put your hands to welcome our Toastmaster of the day today, the ever energetic and positive Toastmaster Jagan.
Thank you, presiding officer. Okay. Now, my heart was beating like ever before. I've never been this nervous because I don't know what the themes are. And Dinakaran, when I told him that this is what I want to do, 2:30, please reveal the theme. This is what I told him. 2:30, please. He said, no, we'll do it in the presiding officer. That would be more challenging for you. It is. But the fact is, as my mentor rightly pointed out, says, that's an easy one for you. But, sir, it's not. Any topic is difficult. So, my opening monologue, I'll wait for my opening monologue. But before that, we'll start the meeting, we'll kickstart it. What is a Toastmasters meeting? A Toastmasters meeting has 3 sections. One is the prepared speech section, where we have a guest. Yeah, please to come. Have a seat. Your good name? Manoj Kumar. For those people who have online, we have a guest. His name is Manoj Kumar. Manoj, would you like to introduce yourself, Manoj, to the meeting, and what are your expectations? My name is Manoj Kumar. You could come here. Yeah. He didn't expect to be called straight right away. Just say what you do and what are your expectations.
Hello everybody, my name is Manoj Kumar. I am 2020 passed out mechanical department. Now I am 2 years experience in mechanical field in Malay, and then now I am preparing to IT department to Python course. Now Python course and my development to another communication skill. So I joined to Toastmaster.
Thank you. Right. Let's get the meeting. I just want to quickly check if the timer's card is visible to those who are joined online. Timer, can you just quickly show? Just show the cards. No, you can sit there and then show the cards. This is where you have to show. You can sit there and show. Has been a problem before. That's why I mentioned it at the start itself. For those who have joined online, this is where the timer will be. As you could see, just raise the cards once. For those who have joined online, is the card visible? Can I get a thumbs up?
Yes.
No, it's not visible.
Okay. For Mickey is a speaker today, so we may have to stand here and then show. Just come once for Mickey alone. Mickey, please do confirm if you're able to see the card.
Yeah, I can see it.
Would this be okay for you?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Sure. So that is done. A general Toastmaster meeting has a prepared speech section and followed by the table topic section and the evaluation section. Now, all of these
in its basic form is itself interesting. On top of that, we also have surprise sessions like this, where the Toastmaster of the day is put through so much trouble for the theme, which was voluntary. They didn't pull me up. I said, I will do this. I want to do this. This was one of my goals. As the theme points out, habits, one step at a time. So to me, when I started the Toastmasters journey, my mentor said, tone it down. You are here, tone it down. You don't need to use flowery language. So she was not like Thomas to subtly put it. She was straight in front of my face and then said, no, you should not have won the best prepared speaker that day. This was my icebreaker speech. And I had delivered for about 6 minutes full on with such confidence. She said, no, no, this will not get to the audience. But step at a time. Mickey, could you go on mute? We are getting some noises from the background. Thank you. So one speech at a time, what I made, I had to tone down. The second speech that I delivered was the poem, Julius Caesar. So it was Caesar, where I was enacting, what was his name? Antony and Brutus, their dialogue. That's what I was enacting. And that's the level of pretentious. That's the right word to use. That's how pretentious I was. And I had to tone it down one by one, one by one. And the first change happened when I could just sit there and do nothing in a meeting. It's the major improvement, because most of the times you want to speak. But the more I toned down, one speech at a time, the more I listened. So one habit at a time, as I say, one step. So to me, public speaking has been that. And this step that I'm taking right now is a huge leap. It's not a small step, because that there is some amount of progress that I've done. What next? Most of our conversations, the best of the conversations, are unprepared. How can I prepare for those? And that was the idea. I told my mentor, so this is what I want to do in my goals in the next 6 months, where I have, these are the speeches that I want to deliver. These are the evaluations that this is how much I make it a point to even my mentor, how much are you going to deliver? 9 speeches, 9 evaluations, these many roles, these many tag. And in addition to that, this is what I wanted to do. And the level 5 speech that I'm preparing right now, one meeting at a time, it takes a lot of time. So I had to deliver a speech last week, which was a repeat, so that I don't miss out on the stage experience. Now, there is one huge announcement that I want to make to all of you from the previous speech. But I will mention there's an important feedback that I got in the step that I took to deliver that speech, to repeat it, because in front of an audience. One major feedback that I got from people that I'd like to share with you all. It's a huge learning for me. But before that, we'll get into the meeting's progress, where I want to introduce the general evaluator for today. I have not asked anybody for introductions. There were people who sent me, but I will of course tell them, because out of the respect that they have taken time to send me. But for this person, I've seen him in Medley for about four years. I remember doing the table topic master alongside with him in a milestone meeting where Sevalia Murali had come in. Ranga may remember, Thomas may remember, Renu may also remember. Sevalia Murali had come in, and he and I were he may not remember, he's like, really? So Rohit and I were the table topic masters. Then he has a master's in economics. Yes. Correct? The first conversation that Rohit and I had was on a budget, February 2019. Venkat was also there. Venkat is in? Yeah, you can see Venkat was also there. We were discussing about the budget. We were saying fiscal deficit, how much is it? Anybody, Rohit would, because he has a major in economics. So let me invite Rohit, the general evaluator for the day, to introduce his role and the tag role's responsibilities.
Thank you, Jagan, for reminding me that I have a master's in economics. I just passed out, but I never studied. I took a liking to economics only after I passed out of college. So, anyways, nevertheless, it was a very good evening, a very good afternoon to all Toastmasters and guests here. I'm the general evaluator for today's meeting, and my objective is to evaluate all the events that happens in the during the course of the meeting. So I will be evaluating all that has happened, all that has been done, and I'll also take note of things that has been slipped. So in my team, I have the tag members. The tag members for today is timer. I'm sorry. The timer is Toastmaster Prasanna. So when I asked him, so Toastmaster Prasanna, he's a native of Tanjavur, and his hobbies are movies, watch movies, and reading books. So Toastmaster Prasanna, can you please read out your objectives, please?
Yes. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, I'll be timing the prepared speeches, table topics, and individual evaluations. For the prepared speeches, in general, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I'll raise a green card. At 6 minutes, I'll raise a yellow card. At 7 minutes, I'll raise a red card. For the icebreaker speech, the time duration is 4 to 6 minutes in length. At 4 minutes, I'll raise a green card. At 5 minutes, I'll raise yellow card. At 6 minutes, I'll raise red card. For the table topics, the time duration is 1 to 2 minutes in length. At 1 minute, I'll raise green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll raise yellow card. At 2 minutes, I'll raise red card. For the individual evaluations, the time duration is 2 to 3 minutes in length. At 2 minutes, I'll raise green card. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll raise yellow card. At 3 minutes, I'll raise red card. Apart from the time duration, there is a grace period of 30 seconds for the prepared speeches and individual evaluation. The grace period is 30 seconds before the minimal period and beyond the maximum time. For table topics alone, the grace period is only after the maximum time, which is the speaker has to speak at least 1 minute and a maximum up to 1 minute 30 seconds. 2 minutes 30 seconds. I'm sorry, 2 minutes 30 seconds. So I request all the speakers to speak within the time duration. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Another member in the tag team is our counter, that is Toastmaster Venkatesan. Toastmaster Venkatesation, sorry. Toastmaster Venkatesation is a native of Kodimangalam in Madurai, and his hobbies, guess what? Apart from being practicing public speaking here at the Toastmasters, he's also learning to be a public speaker in French. Right? So Spanish, sorry. So all right, Toastmaster Venkatesation. So can you please read out your objectives for today's meeting?
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Before I talk about the R counter, it is the usual practice to talk about theme of the day or to share with a general evaluator about the theme of the day. Habits one step at once. We started this as a ridiculous revolution in my organization 1 year back. Usually we do some resolution for every new year, but we fail most of the times. So we were taught that you have to break those resolutions into smaller steps. So let's say if you are going for decided to study 1 book or 3 books in a year, it may be an overwhelming task. Most of the times we fail to do. We may think that, okay, 30 minutes I will read every day, but we fail. And usually we leave that with that. So instead of that, go with 2 or 3 sentences once in 2 hours or once in an hour. So that's how I started learning Spanish. So 10 minutes every day I started with, but now I'm practicing more than 30 minutes a day. So it has become a habit for me in the last 1.5 years. So with that, the task of the R counter is to listen to all the speakers from the presiding officer, Toastmaster of the day, prepared speeches, and all the speakers on this podium, and notice the repeating words like or filling words like so, like, because these words will show how your level of confidence in public speaking. So it is very important to evaluate and understand
how much of these filler words you use in your public speaking. So I'll be noticing down and I'll be counting down all these filler words and I will share it with you when the general evaluator calls me upon during the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Our timer for today is Toastmaster Janita. So our Toastmaster Janita, she is playing the role of a timer for the first time. This is the first time she.
It's grammarian.
Oh, sorry, grammarian. She's playing the role of a grammarian for the first time, and she's taking up a role for the first time at Medley's, all the very best, Janita. So Janita is a native of Tirunelveli, and she loves playing badminton. So, Toastmaster Janita, can you please read out your objectives, please?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity. This is my first, role I'm just taking up. And very good afternoon, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility to play very close attention to all the speakers and very listening carefully to their usage of the language. So I'll take note of it, any improper language as well, any outstanding words also I'll note it out. So as a grammarian, it's my duty to introduce the word of the day also. But just give me a minute. Let me share my screen and so that I'll. 1 minute. Can everybody see my screen? Hello?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So the word of the day I have mentioned, it's flummox. Flummox, the meaning is confuse someone. So we use normally the word confused, right? Like another word for confused, we can use the word as flummox. So example.
Janita, I think you're showing a wrong page. You're showing something like TSS, a job description like that. We
1
don't
minute,
know
1 minute. I'm sorry. Just give me a minute. Let me share. I'm, is that the screen like visible?
Yes, now it's visible.
It's a flummox, you can see it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Sorry for the wrong slide. I'm just using Zoom very rarely only. You normally use Gmeets. So I'll say once again. So the word of the day is flummox. The meaning is confuse someone. So instead of using confuse, like we almost like use the word confuse for everything, right? So instead of using the word confuse, we can use flummox. The example we can mention it is, I have to say that the last question flummoxed me. So the another example which I mentioned here is the tourist was flummoxed, that is confused by the strange customs he saw on his travels. So these are the things I have mentioned it here. That's the word of the day. By the end of the session, like I'll be submit my grammarian report to G. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Over to you. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Janita. So in due course, I'll also be introducing the evaluators for today's meeting. And I will, as a general evaluator, I'll be evaluating each participant in today's meeting. And also will be evaluating every section of the meeting. At the end of the meeting, I'll also provide the general evaluators report. Over to you, PMO.
Thank you, Rohit. Generally accustomed to clap when somebody comes on stage and somebody goes on stage. Thank you. Oh, we have a new person here. Cybersecurity person, Karthikeyan. Karthikeyan has come here. Okay, we have a new person in that sense. He joined in between. So it's a responsibility of the Toastmaster of the day to invite that person in as well. So the habits that we are going to talk about, I have about 4 minutes before I go into the prepared speech section. The habits that need one step at a time, the habits that I have gained by leaving them all at a time. So it's not always habits having at the same time. So when I gave up coffee at the start of this year, it was at one shot. It was not like, oh, I'll have 4 cups one day, 3 cups another day, 2 cups another day, 1 cup, and then I'll completely stop. No, I gave it up completely. So does that habit build over time when you do it one step? No, not always habits are formed all at a time. The habit of not drinking coffee happened to me in a flash. So there are such habits that I have inculcated in myself. The fact is that I could instantly dance. Whereas I'm a very introverted person, on a DJ floor, I can instantly dance. It's a flash. Today, Devayane had the courage to say, you are showing somebody else's, some other screen. Does that happen over a period of time? That habit of raising your voice, that habit of calling somebody out, does it happen over a period of time? Or is it in a flash that it happens? So habits are not always formed one step at a time. So the one thing that I was mentioning about before I gave the control to the GE is the feedback that I got from the last week's speech. This is not related to the theme of the day, but I still want to say this because it's a very important feedback that I got. Last week that I delivered a speech titled Let It Rain. In this speech, I mentioned one particular phrase which somebody took offense to, which is a very important feedback that I got. It said, a friend of mine was telling me, it was a dialogue saying, Jagan, if you don't propose to her, I will post on your wall that you have AIDS. Now, the idea of being held, that the world will know that you have AIDS, would have offended anybody, which I did it without knowing that it could have offended a person. So a member of the club who was there present in the meeting was kind enough to tell me, Jagan, this is not right. Because AIDS is not a syndrome, or it's a syndrome. It's not it's a disease that not to be ashamed of. And for a wife, it's because of a promiscuous husband. For a child, it's because of its mother. It's not of their own fault. It's not something to be ashamed of. When I did it, I added what followed after that was a kind of, oh, I was being held hostage to something, which back then I was because I was young, but that's no excuse. There's no excuse to say that somebody else was telling that dialogue. So I apologize to her, and I want to apologize to all of you if at all that particular phrase and the concept offended you, which was very insensitive to do. I regret doing it. And once again, I want to mention to people here is that through whatever the person who gave that feedback, age is not something to be ashamed of. Having read that about myself, my family, we used to watch this detective show called Josus Vijay in DD News, DD channel, which was about a detective who had AIDS. It was an AIDS awareness program. So having gone through that myself, I should not have done that. So going into the prepared speech section, we have the first prepared speech. So the habits that I was telling, the habits that I have, that I've prepared over a period of time, I'll come to that. We'll go into the prepared speech section now. Yeah. So the first prepared speaker today is Toastmaster Mickey Patel. He's delivering his speech from the Pathway Dynamic Leadership Level 3. It's an elective titled Connect with Storytelling. May I request his evaluator, Toastmaster Shankar. Oh, Shankar was there. Ah, okay. He has turned on his video. Toastmaster Shankar to explain the speech objectives.
Okay. Thank you, TMOD. As you mentioned that Toastmaster Mickey is delivering from the Dynamic Leadership Pathway. The purpose of today's speech is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. A very all the best, Toastmaster Mickey.
Thank you, Shankar. Toastmaster Mickey, would you be able to turn on your video?
Oh, yeah, I am turning on my video, but it gives me unable to access camera. So I'm not sure if it might be a setting issue.
Okay, so would you be okay to continue the speech?
Yeah,
without
that's fine. Yeah, I'll crack on. Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and welcome. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, Mickey, I just mentioned the title and then leave the stage,
Okay.
leave it to you.
Okay.
The title of the speech is The Unconventional Path. The Unconventional Path, Toastmaster Mickey. Over to you, Mickey.
Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. have you all got a hobby? I bet you have. But the question is not that you have a hobby. Have you pursued it enthusiastically, one step at a time? In my college days, I picked up a hobby which was unconventional in those days. My friends were getting accustomed to foreign concepts like Valentine's Day, Rose Day, and I picked up this hobby which was called like an old man sport. Any guesses? It was none other than the royal game of chess. Now, chess back 15-20 years back in a country which we are proud citizens of was a very niche sport. However, as the theme of today says, habits one moment at a time, for me, it was very much feeling very happy about it. The good thing which I picked up playing chess was I could beat all my family members, friends, and the best thing was I started participating in local tournaments. So what started as a hobby then became a habit, one moment at a time. And from a shy introvert boy, I started traveling across all places. Coming from Mumbai, I traveled almost quite a few metropolitan cities, and it was amazing. 2 years practicing on my hobby and making friends, I was all over in a very, very happy state. I still remember the first tournament which I participated. There was a very strong contingent from Tamil Nadu, and I was awestruck by the quality of their players, the support network, and their parents as such. However, in Toastmasters, we all come across something called moments of truth. The same thing happened when my 12th standard results came. And guess what? They were very poor. So reality did sink in because I did follow a very unconventional path. And as expected, I had a chat with my dad, who was not very happy with where I was heading. And he said, what would you achieve by following this unconventional path? Because friends, in those days, if you continue to play chess, the only future you have, if you are very, very good, is maybe a job in railways or ONGC. And I was from a generation which was aspiring. It wanted to pursue overseas studies, go to US, abroad. So obviously, my parents were not very supportive. And it was a pragmatic decision. So the habit which really excited me, I became very flummoxed, confused, and then eventually I gave up. I stopped playing chess. Life moved on, and I completely forgot about it. Guess what? After almost 2 decades, very recently, I heard there was something called an International Chess Olympiad in Mahabalipuram, just a few kilometers from where I lived. Oh my God, all those old memories came back. It was like, wow. I also managed to connect with a friend whom I lost touch with. So I said, okay, let me visit the Olympiad. I could not get the tickets, and that was a surprise. Like chess had become a very followed sport in India, which I was not aware of. I could see there was a lot of media coverage. There were these young kids who are being labeled as stars, and I was like, oh my God, probably I could have been one of them had I followed this unconventional path. And then I started researching what made chess so popular in India in the last 15-20 years. It all boils down to 3 factors. The world which I lived was a very face-to-face world. I had to import books from Europe just to practice. And now everything has moved to digital. There is sponsorship in the sport. There's a lot of opportunity that has come. In my days, India had just not more than 5 grandmasters. Now it has 75 grandmasters. Majority of them come from Tamil Nadu, and most of those grandmasters are young kids, not more than 15, 20 years old. The other factor is quality coaching, and that's amazing because I never had a coach. And finally, the sacrifice of the parents. So I read a story. So there is a wonder kid called Pragnananda. He's called Prag, and his sister Vaishali. His parents gave up a lot of sacrifices to ensure that both their kids follow chess seriously. The average cost of sponsoring a chess player is 25 lakh rupees, which is not a small amount for middle class parents. But we have instances where parents have left their jobs, used family savings, and ensured that the kids have become stars. And I was like, oh, wow. The unconventional path which these kids are taking is making the country proud. Recently, I read that the winners of this Olympiad, so India got a bronze medal, each winner got 1 crore rupees, which is more than doing a job at any point of time, isn't it? So friends, don't underestimate your habits. Don't underestimate your hobby. Take each habit one step at a time. And there's no harm in following an unconventional path. As you can see from my story, I'm happy I did not take an unconventional path. It led me to a more settled life. But had I taken an unconventional path, life would have taken a different turn, isn't it? Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Mickey, for showing us that unconventional paths can also lead to victory. Not all mothers, this generation mothers are more open. I hope my mother was here. So she would have had a, okay, second, I think. So she would have had a lesson herself. My sister is smiling, I know. So, yeah. So the next speaker, before going to the next speaker, I want to get one person to tell me the habits that they have built over a period of time. Just one person. Yes, sir. Walking in the morning. So we get another bonus since she was brief, another person. Walking in. Yes, Venk. Doing exercise. Is there a time for you to do the exercise? Yeah, morning. So, okay. Walking in the morning, doing exercise in the morning. Anybody else? Jogging in the morning. Reading books. That's also in the morning? Okay. Yeah.
Reading.
Yes, Devane?
Reading books.
Reading books. Okay.
Learning technologies.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else would like to share the habit that they've built over a period of time?
Painting.
Working up early.
Painting.
We have so much. I don't need a job right now. You guys are giving me inputs. Now, for me, speaking is a hobby. It's a habit that I've built over a period of time. Writing is a habit that I've built over a period of time. Raising my voice when it matters, I've built it over a period of time. And if I speak, most of the times when I go back to the video, I don't use I don't use actually, basically, like, sort of, kind of. These, it's a struggle to let them go of my speech, not only of my speech, but also of my writing. They are not part of my tongue. And it's a habit that for the 4 years that I was in corporate before, I built that habit brick by brick. We'll detail into the other habits. But before that, the second speaker is waiting. The second speaker is Toastmaster Dinakaran, who's delivering a speech from Presentation Mastery. It's an icebreaker speech, level 1, project 1. To evaluate Toastmaster Dinakaran's speech, can I invite Toastmaster Venkat Palle to explain the speech objectives?
Good afternoon once again. My target speaker, Dinakaran, it is a icebreaker speech in the presentation mastery level 1. Objective of this project is, the purpose of the project is for the member to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speaking. That's it.
Thank you, Venkat. So all the best to not only Dinakaran, but also to Venkat Pillai, who is evaluating for the first time. Is that correct? Let's give a round of applause because it takes guts. All the very best. Dinakaran is known, but I'm not going to say he needs no introduction. He is the current Vice President Education. He works with TCS. I've seen him before. He comes early. He has been the major pillar to the current term as well. Over to you, Dinakaran. Who am I? Who am I?
Thank you, TMOD. Who am I? Okay, I was trying to talk to my wife in the morning, and then I was telling her that I have this speech today, I am not prepared. So what do I do? She was telling me that you ask this question in multiple languages to multiple people. They'll think that, okay, this guy is not well or not prepared. They'll give you coffee or tea and make you sit and you can skip the speech. I was trying to use that trick, but it didn't work well. Yeah. So who am I? Okay. So most of you would know, like Vice President of Education, Medley Toastmasters Club. Due to this, I get this privilege or punishment that where I filling in role where people have not taken. So today I'm filling in the role of the speaker, proposed speaker. I also have, like, a lot of people talked about the lot of habits. Like I also have this habit that where I come in and give the proposed speech, but actually it's actually an impromptu speech where I don't prepare much and then come and deliver the speech. This is not a good habit. That is something that I have to work on changing this habit. Now getting into the right actual speech content. Most of you would know I work for TCS and I joined TCS 22 years back. I completed my MCA from Alappa University, Karaikudi. I got my job through campus interview, and TCS has given me the job. Not just that, I also met my wife there during the training in Trivandrum. So we got married after the training, after the 1 year period of the training. And TCS also gave me an opportunity to visit US. I was there in US for 5 years. I was in the location called Minneapolis, where you will have the most cold weather in US. You'll have the snow and the winter period for 6 months. It was a good experience. I learned a lot by working closely with the customers. I also have 2 sons. My elder one, he just got finished his +2. His name is Arjun. He recently joined the, I get confused between this Velachaminara College and then the Sivnadar University. So I have this trouble of conveying this name of the university. So he joined the Greater Noida, the Sivnadar University. He started with this course of BSc Economics. So to me, like, I'm a husband to my wife, and I have 2 sons. And my eldest son, he's actually Sanjay. He's actually doing his 8th standard. He's studying in Chetnar Vidyashram. This is my recent, the current life stage. Going back, I actually, my native is Ayampalayam, which is nearby Dindigul. You might, some of you might be aware of. This is a nice place where it's a village where you will see a lot of greenery. There's also got river and dam. So I spend most of my time in the small ages that I go to the river and then spend time in water. But actually, end of the day, I didn't learn swimming. I don't know swimming at all. So it's, my father, he had certain bad habits. He supports a few things in life, but still, he has tried to earn as much as possible. But again, he's very generous and he spends money to his friends, kids, and everybody. So I learned a lot about generosity and then spending money or whatever, right, to others' causes. That's one good habit that I learned from my father. My mother like took up the job of like managing the family, and then she has been like working hard from the day I have seen, and then she still like spends a lot of time in the right way, and then yes, put in a lot of effort to grow myself and then my sister. And going back to my school, like I'm actually a good student. Like I used to be in the last bench, but I used to be the first 3 ranks. So like pet student for the teachers and also for the last bench students. College life was a wonderful life, like most of us. College life gave me an opportunity to learn a lot of sports. During the school days, mostly I spent time on like reading and under like focusing on the studies. But college helped me to learn a lot of sports, be it anything, right? Like I know most of the sports, though I'm not a very good player, but I know the games. I spent a lot of time in like in sports. I also like all this health, like bodybuilding exercise, and then doing everything. Like I learned from the friends during the college days. Okay, by hearing it, all these stories, you might see that, or you might visualize that. Okay, it's like a smooth flow of life, and he's good, and everything is fine. But recent days, or the past few months, recent few years, I have been wondering, like, am I doing good? Am I stuck with TCS? This is the like since I got the TCS job, maybe this is my real potential. What potential I have got? How do I like utilize my full of my potential? Am I a good husband? Have I spent enough time with my wife and have I taken care of her well? Am I a good father? Have I spent enough time with my kids? I don't know whether it's because of the age that I'm in. So I have all these questions. So I have this question going in my mind, like whether who am I, what am I doing? Am I in the right path? I was trying to look through this topic in the online today. I have read this few notes here, like we all have these questions, but you cannot keep stuck with this question. More and more you stuck with this question of who am I? You might deteriorate yourself, and then you might be like you might be disoriented more. More you ask this question, more you might get disoriented. The right thing is that this whole universe is built around ourselves in such a way that we have to reconstruct, establish, and then go with the flow, and then take it one step at a time, build the right habits, keep asking the question of who am I, but keep answering yourself on a regular basis, reconstruct, rebuild, and then reestablish yourself. Over to Toyamori.
So nobody would believe that it was an impromptu speech or that you had to fill in, because it seems that you had prepared Tamil Nadu to Trivandrum to Minneapolis to come back to have existential questions about life. Dinagar, to tell us that it's an impromptu speech, I don't believe it. It seems that all the speakers are using this one step at a time. How powerful are these habits? Now, I had inputs from people here. Before going into the table topic session, I want to have inputs from online. Does anybody have a habit that they have prepared over a period of time, that they have established? I got a painting from Devani. Reading also, she said. Anybody else? Okay, we'll quickly move on to the next session, which is Devani, you had unmuted. You wanted to say something?
No, running. I inculcate the habit of running, doing exercises, and also prayer.
Okay. Oh, prayer is a habit. Very nice. Okay, Raghu, you had turned on your video. You had something to contribute, Raghu. You are on mute, Raghu. Now, this is a run-up to the table topic session. So you guys could brief here and then explain in detail in the table topic session.
Okay. Habits, yeah. It's like the daily morning walk with the dog that has become a kind of new things for last 2 months.
Okay. Priya, how about you?
The walking.
Okay, as you age, you have to walk, is it?
Who said that? You made that statement.
Do I look?
Of walking, I'm getting people have gray hair and they are a bit higher on the age hierarchy. Correct. I get a response from Renu here is that we all should start young, as in walking. You started. Okay. I can say no. I'm not walking, so I cannot say anything as of now. So we'll go into the table topic session. The table topic session is run by. So the table topic session is run by Toastmaster Renu. There are so many things about her which has already been told, and one thing that I want to mention here is she runs a storytelling platform called Katha Vriksh. So every time in Facebook she posts a lot of things, long paragraphs, which means she loves to write. And I'm assuming writing is also a habit that she got over a period of time. Do check out Katha Vriksh. Over to Renu to conduct the table topic session.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Jagan. Very good evening. A very good evening to all of you, fellow Toastmasters and guests who have come here this evening. A very good evening to all of you who have joined us online also. And I request all of you who are online to please switch on your cameras. That way I can call you. Thank you, Devane. Anjana, yes, Anbraj, Medley, okay, that's okay. And DTM Sampath, please put on your camera. Thank you to all of those who have put on your cameras. And now we have 2 experienced Toastmasters online, and we have 1 experienced Toastmaster offline. So I think I'll start off the session with one of the experienced speakers so that if any guest is feeling a bit nervous, because Toastmaster table topics are open for all who are present here as well as online, both for guests as well as for Toastmasters. I have tried to keep the topics very simple because I remember the first time I was called for a table topic, how nervous I was. So I've decided that I will keep it simple. Now, why is impromptu speaking or table topics very important for us? Because after all, Toastmasters is about communication. And table topics helps us develop 4 vital communication skills. The first, of course, is listening. And then, of course, thinking, that too creatively. Then thinking what to say, visualizing, and then actually delivering or speaking. So these are all communication skills. So everyone who's invited to come here, it's a privilege to come and give at least 1 minute talk, because that will take us a long way in developing our public speaking skills. So the first person I'm going to call this evening, unless one of you would like to volunteer, Toastmaster Priyadarshini is here, Toastmaster Raghunath is here, and TM Ranga is here. Would you like to volunteer, Ranga? Yes? Okay. Thank you. Toastmaster Ranga, what does sunrise evoke in you? What does sunrise evoke in you, Toastmaster Ranga? Over to you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and thank you for the topic, Toastmaster. Sunrise, the first rays of the sun, reminds me of a beautiful song from the movie. I forget the name of the movie, but the song goes like this: Puttam Pudu Kalai, Ponnira Velai. So it opens up so many possibilities, and it's the dawn that is the most important event in our life. When we wake up, we realize that today is a new day and you can do whatever you want. You can forget the rest of your life, and today is the first day of your life. And that the rays of the sun, when it comes through the doors or the windows, you're just amazed by the beauty of it and the life which flows out of those sun rays. Because whether it's the flowers or whether it is ourselves, we have to bloom every day. And that is the most important thing, I feel. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ranga. Yes, actually, when I said sunrise, I was thinking of new beginnings, because the sunrise always gives us this feeling that today's a new day. It can be different. It can mean a change for me. And that is what I feel every time I see the sunrise. And of course, I forgot to mention in the beginning, I hope all of you are aware, especially guests who have joined us this evening for the first time, that every speaker gets 1 to 2 minutes to speak, and maximum 30 seconds, 2.5 minutes you can speak for. The timer is right here, and hopefully you could perhaps sit this way for the people here, or you just hold it up like this. We'll hold it. Okay. So the green card will go up at 1 minute. The yellow card will go up at 1.5 minutes, and the red card will go up at 2 minutes. And now I shall invite one of the guests here this evening, guest Sandhya. Please come. Yes, Sandhya, what does freedom mean to you? What does freedom mean to you? Yes, Sandhya.
Freedom is a gift that is given by the universe to us. Let's start with our parents. I grew up in a very orthodox family. My school was chosen not based on the faculty or whether it is CBSE or ICSE. It was chosen the proximity of my house to the school so that I come back home within 5 minutes after the school bell. In my 12th standard, when my friends go to a movie, believe it or not, my mother will accompany me to the movie along with my friends. I was totally flabbergasted with the behavior of my parents, even on my adolescent age. Why don't they give me freedom? Why don't they give me freedom to move with my friends? As I mature, as I got married, when I have children on my own, I understand the freedom, what I did not enjoy from my parents was actually their love, their care, their compassion on me. As parent, always our love surpasses the freedom on our children because of our care on them. Now I realize my parents have actually given me immense freedom of thinking wide and good for my life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guest Sandhya, for that lovely speech. Now let us call upon Toastmaster Priyadarshini. And this is your topic. What do you find most challenging in life? What do you find most challenging in life, Toastmaster Priyadarshini? Over to
you. What I find most challenging in my life. The most challenging thing for me sometimes has been to see the way the things are put before me. I always feel I pre-assume certain before me or any situations when it's just thrown at me. The challenge is not what's come from outside. The challenge within me is to accept the things they are. And what has made things so difficult, as I said, is overthinking. Might be few overthinking, or might be, as I said, you have an idea as to things or the person has to be in this way for certain situation. And when they do not show that color which I kept expecting, I feel disappointed. But later on, as you grow, you see the real world. We see the other shade or the other side, which we never tried understanding. The situations they face in their life, the circumstances they see when they grow up, their parenting, their education. There are many matters, many factors which makes the person the way he or she is. For example, we live in a society where all are well learned and we expect many good things from them. But when a situation arises and we see they act in such a selfish way, or should I say, the most unexpected way, then again, I feel it's such a big challenge to accept this person the way he is, because I had this notion when I thought of this person, but now look at this behavior. Why we need to have patience to understand the whole situation before judging or coming to a conclusion. We need to ask questions before we make statements to a person. I think that maturity is yet to come in me, and that will still, it will stay as a challenge as long as I grow and completely understand the situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pierre. At least sometimes I do that. So thank you. And can I ask guest Wilson, are you prepared to come and speak? Can you come? Thank you. Please come. Guest Wilson, what do you look forward to every day? What do you look forward to every day, Guest Wilson?
Thank you. Thank you everyone for the opportunity. So what I look for every day is trying to be calm and composed in all the situations. I work for a bank, so we basically do a lot of sales and marketing, a lot of things about, and apart from the operations which we do. So sometimes we have morning we'll have a meeting. I need to again give a speech there, and then to give actually motivate my people to do best for the day and things like so. There are a lot of challenges comes in. So I actually the ideal situation or ideal result which I actually wanted in all these situations is to be be myself, be calm, and when I take good decisions, motivate people, all those things. That's what actually I wanted. But sometimes I fell short of it because sometimes maybe my supervisor get involved in a con call or something like that, and when they say that if I'm something which I'm doing actually it's not right, or if there is something which has gone actually reduces my effectiveness for that particular day or particular maybe for the next 1 hour or so. So that's something which actually happens. So it's something which I normally see in my career, that I need to be fearless and be myself, and I should be able to do what I'm supposed to do in a very effective way. Thank you.
Thanks. That was very inspiring, Guest Wilson, that to look forward to being calm throughout the day. And the way you spoke so calmly reflects that. So thank you. And who would like to volunteer? One of the guests here would like to volunteer? Anyone? Yes, please come. Yes, Ramya, right? Please come. Yes, Ramya, which is your happiest memory the last 1 year? Oh, happiest memory the last 1 year? Yes, Ramya.
The happiest memory. Okay. Few months before, I had to go on a intensive training for a month. And it was so strenuous, and you will not even have an hour break to call your family or your friends. You can't talk to your friends in the premises. You do not have your phones. You will have to surrender your phones. The happiest moment was one thing there was the silence. The silence made you to realize who you are. The first day when I went to the premises on the kitchen area where you dine, where you sit, you have to sit down and eat there. Where you dine, there was a quote stated that listen to your silence, listen to yourself. It has a lot to say about you. It has got so many things in you. You have got so many things in you. And just listen to that and listen to you. Just listen to your breath. This is what it has written. Listening to the breath, listening to what you eat, listening to who you are. So the silence was the happiest thing that has ever happened to me. Because I have two toddlers at home. Sorry, not two toddlers. One who is 9 years old, and the other one is a toddler. She is 3 years. So each and every day is a chaos at home. Always with muttering and fighting, singing, dancing, everything like that. But that 1 month, the silence, I still miss that day. I still miss those days of that 1 month where each and every minute you will just listen to yourself. And listening to myself has made me to realize who I am. It has made me to realize what my real worth is. And I understood the value of self-validating, self-accepting, and compassionate, showing self-care towards myself. And this is the happiest moment I have ever faced in my life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guest Ramya. That was very inspiring. Were you talking about Vipassana? Not really. Okay, very nice. Because I've been considering Vipassana. So when you started talking about silence, I just thought about that. Thank you so much. And now let's go on. Any other guests would like to volunteer? Would you like to come? Would you like to come? Jayendra, would you like to come? Yeah, I'm asking you. I'm
Toastmaster
sorry.
Renu,
I should be reading out your name.
Toastmaster Renu, we have Devyani who's been trying to answer.
Oh,
Who wants to
sorry.
participate. Yes.
Who's here? Devane. Oh, so sorry, Devane. I didn't notice. Yes, Devane, I shall give you the next topic.
You're on mute, Devani.
Guess Devane, what do you do to relieve stress? What do you do to relieve stress? Guess Devane. Over to you.
So good morning, good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So what I do to relieve stress. The main stress that I faced in my life was I couldn't let go of something that happened in my past. I got flummoxed. You know, I am a kind of person who just lets go, let things go, take life, have its own pace. But there was a time when I could not go forward with few things that happened in my past. I was insulted, I was humiliated, and by my own family members, which I couldn't take it at all. You know, I couldn't just stand for myself. I couldn't be bold just because, you know, there is that factor called, you know, respect factor. So I really got remarks. I couldn't get over that. But when I really started running, you know, which most people don't do, I really started running, and that running habit helped me to become bold, and I started to face few people, you know, straightforward in life. So that helped me to relieve stress. And you know, people say, you know, not always you can be forgiving. There are times where you have to stop at that place, turn back, and ask the person who did that to you. So in that way, I was able to release stress, but still a lot of stress remains in me. But I couldn't get over my past that easily. So this is what I did to relieve my stress. So over to being like, as they say, you know, we have to build up habits at once. Building up habits is a very difficult process. So when I was very small, you know, the habits were brought up by scoldings or by spankings. So that's how you build a habit. So over to Toastmaster, over to the table topics master. Thank you for the wonderful topic.
Thank you so much, Devane. Yes, I think running is a great way to relieve stress. Thank you so much for the speech. And I'm sorry once again that I didn't look at the screen and invite one of you to speak.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, so next let's go to Toastmaster Venkatesh, and I see that he's waiting eagerly to be called. So over to you, Venkat. I have a nice topic for you. Okay. Two heads are better than one. Two heads are better than one. Whom do you consult when you have a problem? Whom do you consult, Venkat, when you have a problem, Toastmaster Venkat? Did you get the topic?
Yeah, thank you for nice
Okay, over to you.
topic question, table topic master. Just now, when Toastmaster was talking about the freedom. First, when my father was alive, now he is no more. He used to give a lot of freedom. And he would say that after SSC, you should take +1, +2, whatever the group you want. Whatever you choose in colleges, what is your PG, everything you have to decide on your own. He used to advise me that, Venkat, I cannot come with you till life ends. At any time, I may go also. You have to face all the consequences in your life. So, last week, one of my friends who's an advocate, he met an accident in Compet near a police station. He had a problem. Exactly at 11:30 in the night time, he called me. Venkat, can you please come to the police station, Compet police station? I have flummoxed. Why suddenly he's calling at 11:30, and even though he is an advocate, why he is calling me? I said, okay, be there before 12 o'clock. And I was there. He is an advocate, he is a company corporate advocate, but he is not a criminal or a civil advocate. He got annoyed with the police station. The inspector is asking a lot of questions to him. And I intervened and I have explained all those problems because I came to know that I had an interaction with my friend about the accident. Actually, not his fault. And then we said that we are ready to face any problem. We'll move to the court. We'll take everything. In the meantime, the other person, the respondent, has come to the conclusion, and he told me that, Venkat, we will solve all the problem. Instead of going to the court, we'll have some win-win situation. Then, after finishing all these things at 2 a.m., my friend asked me that, why you have the guts like this? I used to tell him, when my father was alive, he used to advise me that you have to face all the problems, then only you will get the solution and other things. In the meantime, after my father left 20 years back, one of my cousin who was a doctor, now he is also no more. 2 years back, he passed away. I used to discuss with all these things. Toastmasters and distinguished guests, I'll tell you that whenever you have a problem, you should discuss with someone else, with your close one, maybe a better off, maybe your friend, maybe your well-wisher, then you'll get a solution for this. Over to you, tabletop masters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Venkat. Thank you very much. I know Toastmaster Raghunath Nair is also waiting for a topic, but I'm very sorry. I've been told to end the session here now. So perhaps next time. And thank you all very much. I'm very happy that every one of you spoke for more than 1 minute. So thank you all very much. Over to Toastmaster.
Thank you, Renu. The agenda says that I cannot speak a word after this because it's so tightly packed. I will hand over the session to the general evaluator. He's been taking so much of notes and I don't know what he is taking. He's just been writing. Over to Rohit to conduct the evaluation session.
Thank you, Vijay. So this is one of the habits I've picked up to take notes. So I make a lot, I didn't make any notes when I was in school or college, so I have to do it now. Anyways, next I would be calling up. Next session is the evaluation section. We have two evaluators who would be evaluating the prepared speech speakers for today. Our first evaluator is Toastmaster Sankar. Toastmaster Sankar is a native of Chennai, and his hobby, he has a newfound hobby. It is more of a hobby, and also I'd call it a habit, that is cycling. So Sankar, you would be evaluating Toastmaster Mickey Patel's speech, right? Okay, all right. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, G. Am I audible, G?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, let me start. The purpose of Toastmaster Mickey's speech for a member to practice using a story within a speech or giving the speech that is a story. Let me see how he has achieved the project objective today. One of the important element in the storytelling is opening. I think, Mickey, you had made a brilliant opening that you had start asking the questions from the audience. The question was, have you got a hobby? So that made me to trigger what you are going to speak in the next 5 to 7 minutes. Kudos for you. The other thing which I impressed from your speech was you're taking from your personal stories. You're not taking any the outside story, I mean, any stories from others that you connected with hobbies. Fortunately, that is the theme of the day as well. I'm very sure that most of us can relate the hobbies in our life. The other thing or the I must compliment or amazed that you had presented your speech in a pleasing tone or excellent pauses, a great intonation and clear language, and very importantly, there is no flummox on your entire speech. That made your speeches was more fascinating. And the last, any storytelling that you should have some connections. Initially, I was thinking that you're talking about your the niche, the sports at the time, probably 15 or 20 years ago, that was a chess. I was thinking that how you are going to end up with your speech. Then later on, you unlock the story with which happened in the International Olympiad. I think you had brilliantly connected with both the story. In fact, you have given a factual information about the chess. Probably, if anyone want to take as a chess as a hobby or a habit, probably, they might be thinking for that. These are all things which I observed a very good point. As usual, yes, some of the improvement point which I see that in your speech. The number one is that the first thing, even I impressed about your opening, but as a storyteller, you need to get a response from the audience. But you ask the questions, you are hijacked from the response from the audience. Probably you could give probably 10 seconds or 20 seconds so that you are taking your audience on your journey. And second, a very important thing is that any storytelling that should have some character, and also it is a conflict. I see that there is one places where you could create the character as well as the conflict when you are discussing about your chess ambitions with your father. Probably you could have created some of the characters. And third and very important thing is that the storytelling should have the facial reaction. And I wanted to see your the facial reaction. But unfortunately, the camera was not turned on due to the technical glitches. Probably you could have checked before this speech. On summary, you have demonstrated that you are the great storyteller, but your story need to connect with the audience. If you connect with the audience by inserting some characters as well as the conflicting, and all the speech will be a great speech. Over to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankar. Second evaluator for today is Toastmaster Venkat Pandey. He is a native of Telangana and he has hobbies like reading books, following daily news, and listening to music. And he's here to evaluate our second speaker for today, that is Toastmaster Dinakaran.
Yeah, my target speaker, Dinakaran. I think for me, this is a second icebreaker speech. He has already done icebreaker speech in dynamic leadership in another pathway. The purpose of the speech is to introduce member and know the basic structure of public speech. It's an out and out congratulations to Dinakaran. Job well done. You spoke very clearly. Your speech is very clear, opening and closing body. And even when you open it, you went to the people and asking, as per your title of the speech, who am I? You're asking the people, who am I? That was a nice opening. You talked about your family and about 2 kids. Definitely, if I'm not part of today's meeting, I would not be knowing your family details. Thank you for sharing them. I like one thing that you praised your parents, your father very curious, generous, and your mother also. That was really nice. Definitely, I could connect to my own icebreaker speech when you are starting talking about your schooling and the career and your life, marriage life and all. You talked about the sports. I was waiting for which sports you do really like. So which sports you are in good, that you didn't tell. And I remember that your last speech also, you said that you are not prepared. But I always feel that last speech and this speech, you prepared very well. Very well, like Jagan said, you prepared very well. But the only thing, you are speaking sentences faster. But I remember that even macro or narrow pauses between the words also make our speech better. You are giving the pauses between the sentences, but between the words, I feel that some pauses are required. But your speech structure, like the way normal icebreaker starts, childhood, school, college, and career, and marriage and kids and all. But I think the structure somehow I could not connect, so you mixed here and there. So that is the reason. If you prepared well, you would have put this structure in very well. Yes, overall it's a good speech. I think if you incorporate my comments, it would have been a very best speech. All the best, and looking forward to more speeches from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkat. Taima, can you please let us know if both the let us know the qualified evaluators. Okay, speakers and well qualified, not the report.
Okay. Good evening, all. So for the prepared speech section, the qualified speakers are Toastmaster Mickey Patel, Toastmaster Dinakaran. For the table topic session, the qualified speakers are Toastmaster Ranga, guest Sandhya, guest Wilson, guest Ramya, guest Devane. And for the evaluation session, the PM Shankar, PM Venkatpalli has been qualified. Thank you. So, thank you.
Thank you, Emma. So over to you. Is it? Okay. All right, timer. Okay. All right. So along with the evaluation, okay, you can also read out the timer. Yes.
So for the prepared speech, Toastmaster Mickey Patel took 7 minutes, 13 seconds. Toastmaster Dinakaran took 6 minutes, 26 seconds. For the table topics, Toastmaster Ranga took 1 minute, 7 seconds. Guest Sandhya took 2 minutes, 4 seconds. Guest Wilson took 1 minute, 5 seconds. Guest Ramya took 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Guest Devane took 1 minute, 42 seconds. For the evaluation part, Toastmaster Shankar took 3 minutes, 25 seconds. Toastmaster Venkatpalli took 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prasanna. Next, can I call over the counter to give the report?
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Overall, the meeting from our counters perspective went very well. We had 2 clean speeches today. Toastmaster Renga and guest Sandhya. Kudos to them. Saying that all other speakers, they had a very good presentation, and there were very few filler words. I don't want to go into individuals' presentation. Rather, I would share the Excel sheet in the chat window. So I always suggest, when I do the org counters role, I always suggest the members to keep a log of their org count. It's not a one-off incident that you see, okay, how many hours I used or how many arms I used. Rather, you need to look at how you have made progress in the last few speeches, either it be the table topic or your prepared speeches. So this time too, I suggest, please keep a log of your org count, because it's one of the primary criteria to know and learn on and improve on your public speaking skills. Thank you.
Now coming on to the grammarians report, Toastmaster Janita, can you please provide
Yes.
the grammarians report?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. From the grammar perspective, most of them know spoke very well. So I have noted a few words, exceptional words. Jagan mentioned pretendiers, and Toastmaster Mickey mentioned contingent and awestruck, and Toastmaster Dinagran mentioned go with the flow. That I like the most, that particular sentence. And the guest Santhya mentioned proximity surpasses and immense, and guest Ramya mentioned strenuous, and guest Devane and Shankar mentioned intervent. The best thing is today, five of them, five of us use the word of the day. That is Toastmaster Mickey, Toastmaster Sandhya, guest Devane, Toastmaster Venkat, and Toastmaster Shankar. I'm really happy about it for using the word of the day, all the five. Thank you so much. Over to you, G. I think we got disconnected. You're on mute. We are not able to hear you. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, we lost the connection in between. So can you please go over the grammarians report again?
Yes, I'll do it. Yes, just
Thank you.
okay. So I have just mentioned a few of the exceptional words. Toastmaster Jagan used pretentious, and Toastmaster Mickey used contingent and awestruck. Toastmaster Dinakaran mentioned go with the flow. That's really nice. And the guest Santhya mentioned proximity surpasses and immense. Guest Ramya mentioned strenuous. Guest Devane and Shankar mentioned intervenant. And today, five of our speakers use the word of the day. That is Toastmaster Mickey, Toastmaster Sandhya, guest Devane, Toastmaster Venkat, Toastmaster Shankar. I'm really happy that five of us mentioned the word of the day, flummox. Thank you. Over to you, G.
All right. Thank you, Janita. You were crisp with your report. Now coming on to the general evaluators, evaluation for today's meeting. Let me start off by the meeting started off on time and the meeting room was set up well. I should appreciate all the members, both from the committee as well as the non-committee members who come well in advance and put in all that effort to set up the room. This has been happening every weekend where they set up the room so that the and get the meeting up and running. This has been like every week, and they've put in a lot of effort to come in early. And I think my appreciation goes out to them. Not mine. I think everybody appreciates their effort. So of course, this is the thing because of the online meetings. Apart from that, okay, occasionally we do have our technical glitches, but we can't do anything about it. We have to put up with it. So fortunately, we didn't have any major technical issues apart from the last few seconds. But anyways, we have. We had the presiding officer to get it up and running immediately. Guests were introduced at the beginning of the meeting and welcomed, even who came in between as well. And this was a very creative way of selecting the theme of the day, where I think the members were asked to select the theme of the day rather than the TMOD selecting the theme of the day. I'm not sure if this is the first time that has happened, but of course, okay, probably second time that has happened. And yeah, even though it was first time, you're doing it for the first time, I think you pulled it off really well, though you looked a bit flummox in the initially, but but you pulled it off very well. Hats off to you, TMOD. And the habits, I think the theme delivered, it was delivered well. And one thing, TMOD giving up drinking coffee, I think the coffee growers wouldn't be too happy about it. Okay. And prepared speakers did stick to their tasks and delivered their speeches well. And TT Master Renu you had a list of very good topics, and gladly, I think you didn't put anybody in a spot. Everybody managed to speak well to whatever topics they were given. And the speakers were equally good and competent. And word of the day was used by several speakers today. This shows how familiar speakers are and people are with the language. And apart from that, yeah, and few things that I did make note of is I request the role players to be dressed in formals, whoever's delivering their roles to be dressed in formals. Online meeting members, ensure you keep your camera on during the entire meeting, more so even the speakers as well. Speakers and role players. I think this has been the issue. I think most of them, when they don't have to speak, they put off the cameras. Please make it a point to keep the camera on whenever during the entire course of the meeting. All right. So that's it. Apart from that, I think it was a very well organized meeting for this weekend, and there's nothing much apart from that. I think almost everything has been covered up well by the organizers of the meeting. Thank you. Over to your TM.
Thank you, Rohit. Two things that I want to call out before I invite the educational speaker. One thing, if the timer can mention the list of qualified speakers in the chat, so that anybody who's doing, not in the chat, in the WhatsApp group, anybody who's doing the Google form, it would be useful for them to complete it just quickly. If you could do that. You are aware of it? A form is done. Okay. So the second thing that I want to call out is I called out Venkat for performing the Shall we go? So I called out for Venkat for performing the first time an evaluator role. Janita is performing her first time as a grammarian. So shall we give a round of applause for her?
Thank you.
Congrats, Janita. Congrats for starting your journey, because this is a journey full of learnings. And
Thank you.
the agenda has no second for me to talk after this. I'd like to invite the educational speaker for the day. This speech is on the educational session on meeting roles. What are the roles? What are the roles and responsibilities? So the speaker is a veteran corporate communicator, and he's an event manager. He's a former District 82 PR manager. Currently, we are District 120. And previously, Tamil Nadu Toastmasters Club around Tamil Nadu and Sri Lanka was called District 82. And he was the PR manager of District 82. He is a former Medley secretary, vice president of education, and the president. So something little personal, this is what he had given me. But something a little personal, he is my mentor. He's very straightforward to tell you, no, this is not correct. This is correct. Something I've learned it from him to be how to be honest. And I've been honest to him, which is a huge self-esteem to me. Over to you, sir. It's DTM Thomas. I didn't mention the name.
Don't sign like this. My time doesn't start yet. Once. Let's start Yeah. Echo is there. Hello there. No, this is not working.
We can hear you clearly.
Oh, good. Either. Oh, Idua. Okay. Great. Good afternoon. Am I audible and visible? Except for people seated on this side, I can alter it. Yeah, I think we're better. Good. Yeah, it's an equipment that's not mine. So allow me this little teething trouble. Tell me what is it that you know a club by? What is the face of a club? Members. Which member? All right. Okay. What converts guests into members? Of meetings. Thank you. That was the answer the teacher had in mind. That's also where you are convinced that you should continue in a club. That is the topic of this discussion today. Meeting quality and the role of some of the major players in that. The role players, they create a symphony. One person cannot do. But there is one person who leads. And you saw today's leader, what he was doing today. If you look at it in toto, the red ones are the trio. The TMOD. TMOD has control this not in terms of firing and hiring, control over the speakers, has also a supervisory responsibility over the other two main players, namely general evaluator and table topics master. Table topics master has nobody under him, so to say, but he is all by himself. He takes care of things. He is just no gender bias, just convenience, I'm saying. Okay. General evaluator has to take care of two sets of people. One is the evaluators and second is the tag players. And the TMOD has to take care of the speakers. The former president of India used to do this. He will stop. So you'll have to give the last word to say that we are in sync. Yeah. So that's what the TMOD does. Now, taking things forward, the TMOD is a meeting's director of sorts and the host. And typical in style, he is the MC. So you know all that it entails. He is the CEO. I'm going to give an alteration now here. I'm going to say that he's the CEO. You saw that organizational chart. In that, he's the CEO. Why CEO? He has charge over everybody. Of course, along with VPE. That's understood. VP is the Malik, of course. That you cannot wish away, right? So he runs the show. He manages the team. We talked about the teams, right? The speakers. You have the two red marks we saw. The G and the TT master. That's essentially his area of. And this is important. If you allow the TMOD to be the leader of that pack that you create called the meeting group, allow him to do that, he will learn leadership. When we say, leadership, where leaders are made, how do you make them leaders? Let them deal with senior members. Let them gain the confidence of coordinating, time planning, and all that goes with managing a show. So, in fact, we've done that in the past. It's a good idea to make them CEOs and not just TMODs for the day. If somebody is missing, TMOD steps in and says, we need a substitute. It's a three-legged race. I'm saying you have enough in your palate, so therefore in your plate, therefore you could consider doing this. He sets and substantiates the theme of the day. Except on a day like today, when a venturesome person here says, blindfold me, let me drive on ECR. He asked us to give the theme to him the last moment. Exceptions, don't set the rules. With the G, I hinted it already. With the G, he ensures that all role players are prepared and present. Remember, we used to call last moment, but Medley is pretty disciplined, so we don't have that heartburns now. But the other part is prepare. What is prepare? Each role player should know his script. He can improvise, but he should have the basic script. He should have had a word with the mentor, especially in the initial stages. I think we bypass and say, oh, I've seen somebody performing as timer, I can do it. There are so many teeny things that we miss when we guess and do. So a word with the mentor, you will add more value to the meeting. That's the entire ultimate idea, is that we want good members. We want people to come and feel impressed by the meetings. So like I told you about the symphony, where each person makes sure that each of the strings are in the right tone, we need to do that as each of us. No big role, no big guitar, no small guitar. All of us have to do that. So with GE, that's the preparation part I was talking about. And also give me a hint at 20 and at 25 and at 30. Introduce speakers, projects, and speech topic. It's happening now. I will not belabor the point. Introduce top speakers. Why? Okay, we will deal with that separately. There's a separate chapter altogether. Take care of transition. Take care of surprises. Today we had surprises. You need to expect surprise. That's also part of the leadership learning. Time and guide the players. No role for being nice to people in this matters, because you are the captain of the ship. I'm looking at today's captain because of his venturesome captain who has done a good job today. If you notice, and I'm very finicky about it, no, but not bad. We were late by about 7 minutes at one stage. It was made up with a little bit of time taken from TT, Master, and I think you also sacrificed some time. That is rarely done. I have not seen many Toastmasters TMODs doing it. Once I overshot and Saravanan caught me. Since then, I'm very conscious about. I appreciate that. It's a learning for me for life. So that's something we must. And just because I prepared my script, I know I'm getting late. Who cares? I go on with delivering my last. I think that's too selfish. Sorry to say this. So that's what a TMOD does, and a few more things. He is the energy-giving son. Nothing political here. He is the energy-giving son. And he is the conductor. He is the captain of the ship. I think I've said it. Something like this. Feel proud, my friend. Now this, coming to the brass tacks. I would like all our members understand what Toastmaster Dinakaran does. We must have an X-ray of the agenda and know where the time is. Of course, another day, how to create margins which people don't see, that's for another day. This we must obey. Collectively, that's the only covenant we have. All of us have signed. All of us have to play by that. Then only you can get up and go on the last, as promised. If you don't, if you delay, what happens? I have suffered. I have a doctor's appointment. I'm drawn between these two things. So we are obliged to finish the meetings as promised. And this role players play the part. So here, if you notice, 8 minutes are given initially. And 2 minutes are given for closing, including the functional part of closing. There is no slot given in between when I introduce the speakers, when I introduce the G, when I introduce the TT. There's no time given for me to propound my theme. I got to manage it in 8 minutes and 2 minutes. Out of the 8 minutes, 3 minutes at least will go for me to talk about the meeting structure, about introducing a decent introduction to the GE. Net, friends, I can come with a 650 word script and deliver it. That's all I can do. Otherwise, I am encroaching. Maybe 700, depending on your speed. Respect the audience time. That's something. See, here, actually, we practice servant leadership here. You will see in each role, it's servant leadership. Toastmaster Renu, out of turn, I'm saying this to you. She was simple. She didn't show off. She made sure that everybody could speak and feel good about themselves. It's not for you to feel good. It's a role of leadership, true servant leadership. So with each of them, if you look at it closely. So time and efficiency keeper, that's one role. Going forward, like I said, 600 to 700 word scripts, but that's not all. You can give creative comments like Toastmaster Jagan did. Of course, he could not connect with the topic. At times, you were lucky if your mind works, you can connect with the topic. That then both sides feel good. Yesterday I attended a meeting, a young Toastmaster, very well he could connect. It's a matter of luck also. Certain days it doesn't happen. Then don't forget, there are introductions. Introductions, if we knew, today was of course, like I said, a blindfolded thing on ECR. Otherwise, we will know the topic. The GE will ask, everybody give me a introduction based on that. So it is not just the TT Master's voice. It is collectively, we are cascading a topic, a theme with 12 voices coming. He also did another smart thing. Instead of, being the only voice of this master, you can ask the audience. He did that. What happened? I think something like 8 members of the audience felt they owned the theme because they told their story. That is the trick, not coming and delivering a soliloquy, a monologue or a soliloquy. Then we can be within this 8 plus 2 minutes, 10 minutes. Yeah, this is a favorite thing of mine. A theme, what is a theme for a meeting? There are so many, thought-provoking ideas from the inspiring things from the president. Then you have speakers. So what am I doing here as a Toastmaster of the day? When you get into an airline, a plane which is landed somewhere, the air hostesses will come and give a second dose of freshness. Nice, you feel nice. But in some places like Pune, with a lot of insects, they themselves close their noses and they spray something obnoxious because that has to kill the insects. We have to only spray that little nice feel. We don't have to download a book. We don't have to download what we learned. We don't have that responsibility. So that becomes overwhelming. I'm saying the theme shouldn't be overwhelming. Today's was simple, wasn't it? One step at a time, harmless. It reminds me of what a kid can say, right? So that is, of course, credit to the collective wisdom for selecting a theme like that. But the heavy funda themes tire you. On a Saturday, I'm not here to learn. I'm not here for gyan. I'm here to feel good. Give them that. So don't download a book. If I feel so much about it, why not come and prepare and deliver a speech? Will you give me a slot? I'm sure you will. So, make a speech. Make a speech. It's your own. It's your time. Then, why introductions? On the right corner, on the left corner, on the red corner, representing whatever, that's how they introduce the boxes. Why? They should gear up. They should feel great. They should feel great about themselves. That is the purpose of introductions. That's why I wrote a few lies so that I get, inspired when Jagan reads it. That's the purpose of introductions, isn't it? So, role play introductions. Should it be thematic or general? I would say both. One is to, I ask people honestly, it's like a selfie. What do you want to be heard is what I'm asking. So if he wants to say he's learned Spanish, he is proud about it, he feels good, I take that. Only limited to word count of 40, 50. Also the theme, it's very important that the theme doesn't only belong to the TMOD, but the theme is not propounded, pushed by all of us. We do it through these introductions. Therefore, I'm saying there is place for both thematic and for general. Guest speakers, no points if somebody is going to talk about artificial intelligence, no point saying that she's a Bharatanatyam dancer. Be selective. Why are we giving introduction? Credibility. Source credibility, so that I'll be taken seriously. Same thing when especially a guest comes, he expects to be, it's a new audience, right? There we got to get from that person himself and deliver what he wants to hear. Now we are getting back to full physical meetings, right? Here is a chance, here is a time, friends. I believe that we are not Toastmasters, we are communicators. Why are we scared of visuals? I've heard visuals being decreed upon, ridiculed. Visuals are very much part of communication. How would you feel when I introduce timer, Mr. Saravana Kumar, and his picture comes? Of course, much more handsome than this, right? And then say, our counter, Smita Pratap, it's you, for example, Ramya, and your picture comes. You feel good. You feel good. I'm saying, why are we not doing it? Let us do this when physical meetings start. This is how we gear people. This is how we make people feel good about themselves. Yeah, I couldn't get a third one without copyrights. This is the gentleman who worries about copyrights a lot. I didn't go for it. Okay, so now the G. It's like a parallel story almost. He's in charge of evaluation session, the tag team, the evaluate, and making sure they are present and prepared. Same thing. Preparation, we define what is preparation. He's not a sub-agent for the theme of the day. I have no reason to give my own theme itself. It's happened in the past, and we don't need to do that. We can use the theme of the day for introductions, like I explained. So that's a synergy we can create. We don't have to open our own shop on theme of the day for GE, theme of the day for TT Master. No need. So no need for personal story either. Oh yes, it appeals to me. It's not called for. When you are introduced, you give what you want to say about the theme. Although, see, it's a very tight schedule we have. That's the only way we can stay within that. And that's something we must be proud of. It's a Toastmasters brand value. Add value, forget the ribbon. Very unkind words. But I'm saying, friends, ribbon, don't look for the ribbon. Look for doing the best you can, making the meeting the best you can, making Medley proud. Then you will see that we will be a lot more staying with. This is a question we'll have to no direct answer. Evaluation of evaluators. It's a subjective matter. I think XCOM has to take a call. When you have many new Toastmasters doing evaluation, this may be worth it. Otherwise, wrong ideas will go around. So that's why I don't have a definite thought about it. General evaluator, like has been doing across various pages today, takes note. Ambience, lighting, too flashy, AC temperature, started on time, performance of duties, speeches, evaluation. Again, I have a point there. GE can talk about evaluation. Some companies, some clubs, they do that. Overall conduct, whatever was exceptional. Whatever was exceptional. You did talk about what was exceptional. Dress formals, camera, guests welcome. Yeah, you complimented the Toastmaster of the day for welcoming guests who came in. Very good. Compliments to both of you. You for doing, you for pointing out. This is something we must start doing. There is something called moments of truth. It's not a one-day wonder. We got to follow up, and the GE should see whether those points. This is, by the way, a feedback system that we have in Toastmasters, where you collect feedback from members that we implement over the next 5 months or something. This is, you could monitor it, the GE could monitor it. Also, there is a thick book called the GE report. We must follow up on that. Now that we get back to physical meeting, I'm saying, otherwise it was impossible. Value add, improvement suggestions, not predictable goody goody words. We had 2 wonderful speeches and we had 2 equally 2 wonderful. That doesn't add anywhere. I'm not saying you did. I'm saying, 2, no, forget 2. I'm saying we had 4 wonderful speeches. What was good about it? There was variety. That is the GE's role. It's after all, who is a GE? GE is the quality chief. The quality chief can run down even the CEO. That's a job. That's a job. So that's what GE can do. Then table topics. You've done that. Select topics in advance. Keep some extra. You never know, because some people may fumble and stop at 30 seconds. You need more in the armory. Then non-specialized themes. You did so well. That's why it went so well. All that you talked about, everybody goes through. It was nothing very specific kind of thing. Then there is enough scope for novelty and creativity, some visual energy. That's one thing I love. Medley people have done that. They bring some visuals. See, man is moved by color and shape and music. If we can do that, even that's fine. So what's the whole idea? Make the Saturday evening nice. Link to theme of the day or not, I have a problem. Suppose the theme is success. So I can ask somebody, what is your success formula? So you will come up with whatever. Then I can ask the next speaker, again, something with success. If I'm a clever guy, and why with our IQ, whatever was said by Toastmaster Prasanna, I can rehash and present as the answer for the second question. So what are we gaining? Therefore, it's about avoiding overlap. You can have about success. It can be variations of that same theme. So you can have that whiff of it, but not the same area. This is a generic question people often ask. So that's my take. Toastmaster doesn't say anything anywhere about it. It's my take based on common sense or whatever I pretend I have. Then this is something I must say, there's something personal about it. Yeah, please give the first chance to non-role players and guests. How can you do that? I submit to you, we have done that. VPE and VPM have to guide the TT Master. TT Master is not a sovereign republic or something. So TT Master is doing a job for the club. Why? Today, for example, some members have come after a long time. I'm sure the VPM or VPE would like to encourage them. And also, I'll tell you, when you call a role player and a non-role player to a Medleyan is made to sit quiet for 2 hours, zip up. And it has happened to me. Therefore, I'm saying with in all authority in my command, that hurts. Somebody talking 3 times in a meeting, and here I am sitting for 2 hours, not opening my mouth except to yawn. That hurts. So that is something we must be conscious about. TT Master cannot do it. That has to be done by the 2 officials supporting. This is something. This I learned from our founder member. We're okay? Founder president. He said at one meeting, give the topic first and then call the guy. You know why? Topic first, time and tide waits for no man. You call Karthikeyan. So I'm not bothered. Whereas you say time and tide waits for no man. So 31 brains will start ticking. Hey, if I'm caught, what do I do? That's a stimulation you need, no? Even if you're not called, you've gone through 1/3 of that. And then Karthikeyan comes. So this is something I learned. I use it whenever I have an opportunity. Be kind to guests. You were kind to guests. You are kind to everybody. You are kind. Okay. So that's brevity. You must appreciate my brevity. Okay. So if somebody is fumbling, give them the 30 seconds. You want to think for a while? Take your time. Or change of topic. All this we can do. Now, I'm sure as mature members, we do that. But in the package, I don't want to miss it. Therefore, I brought it. This is the ultimate story for me about TT. How well did I look? How many movies I watch? How much I read? Is that I to no? It's about how nice did Nelson, right? Wilson, sorry, I beg your pardon. How nice did Wilson feel? He had an opportunity to talk about the office situation. Calm. That is top of the mind for him. He could say that in front of 20 appreciative people. You gave him that opportunity. That is the success of a Toastmaster, of a TT Master. See, contest preparation is another game. I don't think we can do it in a generic form like this. Or you can give a more difficult, there are ways. I won't take your time on those specifics. How much time do we have? Okay. So now I want to say something, and I've done this, therefore I can say with confidence. A prepared speech of 7.5 minutes. Of 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. A prepared speech of 4 to 6 minutes. Today we had one. How much time should I earmark if I'm planning the time? Okay. It's 4 to 6 minutes speech. How much time should I earmark?
9 minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Raghu. You have gone through the drill, so you said 9. Venkat will next term or thereafter, so you said 8. But I will go with 8 because I'll tell you why. 4 to 6, I can legally go up to 6.5. So on average, I'll keep it like that. Normally, it doesn't happen. And then you call somebody, may I request, the next speaker is, see, the time is running for all this. No, where does it come from? Not from my pocket. It has to come from that time earmarked. So the next speaker is so-and-so to introduce the topic or the objective. May I call his evaluator so-and-so? He comes, he puts down his papers and comes here. Am I audible? Am I visible? All that happens. So it is safe, and I've learned from experience. I've said that to Dinakaran. He has been open to my suggestions. I appreciate that. We need that 1.5 minutes extra we need. When we don't do that, yesterday I went for a meeting. They ran out of time only because of those, very honest, this margins we need to create. So that's the first thing. So VP has to plan realistically. This is what I mean by realistic. And otherwise, the cruelty of who suffers. If you don't run on time, who suffers? One, of course, all of us can suffer by the meeting getting late. But if somebody is particular about that not happening. So that's why role players have to study the agenda. That is their covenant. There's nothing else. And you cannot, in the middle, you cannot run around and do all that. So of course, VP has to do it. And the Toastmaster of the day has to restrain people and say, the person who suffers as a role player is TT Master. Today you had 23 minutes. You more or less got 23 minutes. I appreciate whoever did that. You got the bait and 5 minutes late, 6 minutes late. You gave it back 6 minutes late. So you're protected. Somewhere else we saved some time. I noticed that. Then role players should know the script. Less fumble, more punctual. I mean, it's very obvious, isn't it? So that's something, as we used to do this. We used to have mentors for each role. Of course, it was not liked by some people. All that happens. But then mentors have a role. Mentors have a role. I think we must have the practice of mentors getting involved in this. It is not a solo. It's a solo success, but it's a three-legged race. Then all this will be able to improve, in my humble suggestion. Exceeding and cutting TV time, TT time, it denies the muted members. Those who suffer finally are today, you could do 6. But okay, if it were cut, some member who is eagerly waiting for his chance, that 2 minutes, vocal cord exercise suffers. And I can say this to you, I don't mind ever repeating it because I don't want it to ever happen in Medley. We should not let Medleyans who come for, be muted when someone else wrongly given a chance. That's something we must make sure we don't ever do. Ribbon or doing the best? This is something we got to ask each of us. Ribbon or doing the best? Doing the best. See, at this stage in life, being free like school children. That's what we're doing here, no? Trying to do that extra word, bring that, Google and find that word, a rhyming word. We can pack all that in our script. Enjoy that. Then overall we will have a very interesting meeting. It's happening here, by the way, especially the tag role players, the trouble they take, creating visuals, all that. Karthik, all of you have done that. It makes, because we are not all audio people. Many of us are visual people. And I'm personally a great believer in the impact of visual. So there I will give very high marks for Medley. So, and again, I'm very glad, though it means some muscular issues, you're keeping it holding. Very important, because when you lift it, I'm just digressing, this timer's role. When he lifts it and puts it down, I'm looking at the audience and, pouring my heart out. I will miss it altogether. It's happened. So I appreciate that. So efficient, drag-free meeting. Efficient, drag-free meeting. This moments of silence. It's good when you go to go for your training, but otherwise moments of silence here, not quite. Yep. So this is a Toastmaster brand value, by the way. We are getting members as a club because of Toastmasters. So it's our business to protect that brand value. A delayed ending, I've already told you, between doctor's appointment. Next time I'll put more margin. So my probability of coming for a meeting will reduce if I have to put more margin. It's like, flights on time versus flights that get delayed. Same thing here. A word on brevity. It's one of my pet subjects. Pardon my saying this, because I've been an editor all my life. So when I find an extra word, it's like the gardener seeing that, extra, branch. So therefore, I'm saying this to you, and this will help us be efficient. Take this example. I asked the TT master, I asked the TT master about the theme of the day, namely time and tide waits for no man. And this is what he had to say. What did you learn so far? Nothing. Of course, do today what you can do today. That is the incremental message. But look at the preface to the message, how much time it took. 24 words I took. I took away 24 words. That's about 24 words will be about, okay, maybe about 15 seconds. Fully endorsing the TOD, today's TT Master said. That same intro, I brought it down to 1/3. This is brevity, friends. Then we will have tight meeting, taut meetings. You know, when you have New Year's Eve, you have this firecrackers and all that. Or even in festivals we have. What's the beauty? Before this dies down, something else should go up. So it's a very tightly packed. That's what we like. We don't like these moments of dullness in between. So this tight, like a body, a human body, tight body, right? So same thing here. That's what we. So this is what I call the six-pack of language. This is a six-pack of language. I already preempted this. What makes fireworks great? I've already given the answer. Fireworks are great by the quality of it, the color, variety, etc., as also the way it is synchronized, right? So here we are, the ultimate in risk-taking in sports, the trapeze. Absolute synchronization. Absolute synchronization. That's why today we have the challenge of doing it in the physical, in online. Now we can send signals. There are ways we can communicate. Keep the chat free. Of course, now there's no more chat. So far, we could survive like that. Sending around chits is the only way we can do it. Then plan realistically. I'm repeating it. I'm sorry. Share the plan with all the players. Let them know. I think a chat in the group, emphasizing this may be a good idea. Seamless. No break in action. It all boils down to individual commitment to quality. Please come in, DT. Yeah. It requires planning. It requires planning, coordination, timekeeping, critical thinking, and quick-wittedness. Welcome our former president, DTM Sundar. It calls for event management skills. Now look at it the other way. At no extra cost, we are getting to learn all this. When we say where leaders are made, these are the small points that bring together and create the reality called leadership. I am very glad I will have some time left for questions, if any. Yes, here we are. Quickly allow me to say one word about each of the topics so very well dealt with by Toastmaster Priya last time, the tag players. One is this, what are the wild. Second thing is, our counter needn't get into grammar and language. At times I see this transgression happening. Therefore, I said that. Third, grammarian, it depends what filter we use. Simple words needn't be shown as great because that will make us look small. It's very subjective. I just wanted to add this. Yes, any questions? If I have the answer, I'll do that. No? That's a pat for myself for my efficiency and surrendering 5 minutes. 5 minutes into 30. That's a lot of time I've given to all of you in your life. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Online, are you guys able to hear me? A thumbs up. Thank you.
Yes, Jagan, we are.
Yes, I don't want to take all of your time. Just three important things. One, if we are to speak within ourselves when the meeting is going on, please use chits. Let's make it as a habit. It's very irritating for a speaker. I have been at the other end when I was in a previous club, and people were to speak in their thick voice. They are whispering, and that's even more irritating. We don't like that, and this is a simulated environment. This is not a real environment. Real environment, we may have distractions, but here we'd like to learn that, and then we can do it outside. So I would request us to do please pass chits. The second thing is that please keep our phones on silent. The third thing is that I request the VP to plan the meeting more realistically, because we are already running, this is 5:20, it's nearing 5:20, but the meeting was supposed to end at 5:10. The fourth thing is that the voting form has been shared. Please vote. And with this, at the expense of talking about the theme, I'd like to end the meeting, give the control back to the presiding officer. Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Please give a big round of applause for Toastmaster Jagan. Three things stood out in this meeting today. First one, on the education session on the role players. So that is brilliantly done. Thank you to DTM Thomas for that. Second one, on the secret theme, the idea behind that, Toastmaster Jagan as well as Toastmaster Dinakaran. Thank you for that. And that is brilliantly done. And it was more of an inclusive session because not everybody will get that chance to choose the theme. So that is one of a kind, and thank you for that. The third, we have a lot of first timers today. You see, Toastmaster Janita, who was playing her first grammarian role, first ever role in Medley. Maybe Toastmaster Janita, you can share your thoughts on that.
Yes. So thank you for giving me this one a wonderful opportunity. And this is my first time, like, no, just given as a role as a grammarian. At first, like, I was thinking whether I can able to take it up or not, and then I think like, okay, this is the opportunity where I need to start it. So immediately I took up it. I just did like a little bit of homework. I just look out the script and what exactly it is, how to talk and all. Then I did my best, I guess. Like, definitely looking forward to a lot, like, no, to learn a lot of things from each and everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Janita. I think you flummoxed us by showing a job description rather than showing the word of the day. Okay, that was very brilliantly done. I thought that is a practical way of showing the word of the day and making people realize what that word really means. And then we had our first icebreaker speech from Toastmaster Dinagaran. Well done. Although it's your second speech, but first time here in this venue. That's why I'm saying first time. Okay, right. And then we had Venkat Palle, who was playing his first evaluation role. Very well done. Then Mickey Patel, who is completing his level 3 with today's speech. Very well done. Now let us hear the feedback from the guests. We are a bit late, but it's always good to hear the feedback. Okay, so maybe one or two guests, if you can come here and then share your thoughts on how the meeting went and what are the takeaways from yourself. If you have any suggestions, please let us know. Okay.
As usual, the meeting was extremely interesting. In fact, the secret theme of TMOD, Dan Jagan, I was so nervous. What is he going to get? So it was so interesting. And table topics, I thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you, ma'am. It was awesome table topic. As he said, when each topic was given, I was running into my mind what topic it was, what are they going to speak. Learned a lot. The word of the day, flummoxed. Very nice. I don't know the way it is articulated. It looks very nice and very aesthetic. Thank you so much. Thoroughly enjoyed. Looking forward to be a part of this forum again. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sandhya. Anybody else from online who would like to share their thoughts? Okay, fine. Maybe like it's now time for us to see who the best performers are for today. The best performer or like best speaker for today is the person who took an unconventional path for his hobby. Toastmaster Mickey Patel. Toastmaster Mickey, this is for you. And when you are coming here, please, you can get this. Okay. Then the best tag role player, the person who flummoxed us, Toastmaster Janita.
Thank
This
you.
is for
Thank
you.
you so much. Sir. It means a lot, actually. Thank you.
The best role player who took us surprised with the secret theme and who is just coming now. This is for you. And I need a photograph. Yeah, something. Yes. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, left, right, and center. All the all the three photographs. Video. Okay, fine. Anybody else who are taken? Taken, right? You took it, right? Okay, fine. Yeah. I don't know. Seeing both of us, your phone got some problem. Okay, right. The best evaluator, Toastmaster Shankar. The best TT speaker who attended a silence session. Toastmaster Ramya. Okay. I would like to invite DTN Sundar Raman. I think you are going to give some awards or something.
Thank you so much. I'm extremely delighted to be in front of Medley for a long time. So actually, I wanted to meet all of you for quite some time, and I guess most of the meetings were happening virtual. So the reason, there is a specific reason why I want to come here. Actually, I was handed over with a bag full of trophies that belong to Medley. So while shifting house, I still kept in my car boot, and I wanted to get it back to Medley because each trophy was got with a lot of hardship from members, ex-com members, as well as the district officers. So I don't want to throw it in a garbage, So I know the value of it being a member for last 15 years in Toastmasters, as well as the past president twice. I know the significance of each one of them. So today somehow I try to figure out and find out the location, and then today I brought it at the end of the meeting. I'll hand it over. Thank you so much. Nice meeting all.
And that is the reason, you have come here, but you can always come here without any gifts also, or like any awards also. Fine. With this, we have come to the end of today's meeting. And with the sound of this gavel, I declare meeting number 693 closed. Sure. And then one announcement, this hall is there for up to 5:50 p.m. So let us, wind up by 5:50. Okay. Thank you very much. And thank you for all the online participants. Meet you next week. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. ஆமாங்க எப்படிங்க சூப்பரா பத்துக்கம்
President, can I have a word with our timer? He's very new, so I felt with the report.
Sure. Yeah, right. Prasanna. I think it is recording is going on, Priya. Okay. So can I stop that, or like just to...
Priya, would it be okay if you were to call him and then connect with him in personal?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, it's
She has got some feedback for you. You can just talk to her. Great. Yeah. Right. Okay. See you then. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay. Like.